Hello friends, someone forwarded a WhatsApp video of one Daddy Free's rantings against tithing. I replied her, and please permit me to read the reply. It's slightly edited for clarity purposes. I know what the Bible says about giving and tithing. Freeze is against and steering believers who are originally finding it difficult to give or tithe to support his views. He will answer to God for being used by Satan to get God's children to miss it when it comes to tithe. God is not joking by taking some people by divine revelation to hell, to a section where Christians are being tortured for not tithing, and for some not tithing properly. Now God called them robbers. They robbed God. There's no room in heaven for them, so they ended up in hell. Malachi 3, 8, 10 calls them robbers. God himself calls them robbers. And that's what this chap is championing. And greedy believers are applauding it. For example, Christian ladies spend fortunes in clothing and accessories, but cringe from parting with just 10% of their income to God. They want it all, the 90% plus the 10%. God rightly calls them robbers. Freeze and his gang's arguments are that pastors buy jets and flashy cars with it. Of course, such pastors will give account to God. Your responsibility as a believer is to be faithful and do your part to your local assembly. They argue that in the Bible, the tithe was not monetary. But wait a minute. Didn't Jesus himself supervise a giving session and even commented on the widow's mite? Admittedly, some pastors abuse this, but generally speaking, God is interested in our giving, and we must not shy away from this spiritual responsibility when it comes to tithe and offering. Let's not forget that it's not all pastors that do care about jets and flashy cars. However, they need to pay light and water bills, transportations, staff salaries, etc. The Bible says also that a laborer is worthy of his pay. And shouldn't pastors receive salaries or some sort of support? Where is that going to come from? The tithe is an established principle designed by God to underwrite the financial expenses of churches. And like I said, the pastors will give account to the real owner of the church, God. Some pastors will end up in hell if they misuse it. Let's leave that aspect to God and simply be found faithful. I simply cannot exhaust this topic here. This is just a brief word and perspective. But let me end with these closing remarks. Tell me, who supplied the strength, wisdom, ability, opportunities, favor, etc. that believers use to generate their income? It will cost you about $500 more or less worth of oxygen to be sustained in any given 24-hour period. Who supplies that free of charge to his creations? And all he asks for is for the Christians whom he has a living relationship with through the shed blood of his Son Jesus Christ to be faithful to him in tithes and offerings. Yet the selfish and greedy among them will rather listen to Satan's apostle, crusader, and a spiritually myopic chap by the name of Daddy Free supply some reasons not to tithe. Wake up, child of God, and see that this is just one of Satan's last-minute onslaught against the Church of Jesus Christ. The devil is quite aware the rapture is imminent, and he is determined and bent on making you miss the rapture and to be left behind for the great tribulation. And of course, with that 10% still glued to your hand. So there we go. I'm done. If you're God's robber, delete this video. If you're not, then share it. Shalom. This is Joe Olutu Stevens.
Won't you send the rain, Baba? Meet my heart's desire, true and true. Won't you send the rain, Baba? Then I'll sing your praise forevermore. Baba, oh, Baba, oh, let your power